All right, buckle up, a lot of news to get to. The deadline to avoid a government shutdown is midnight tonight.
And Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is backing down on his fight to block Trump's agenda. He's going to vote for this CR.
And this was stunning news that came down last night. Aisha Hasni's been there every step of the way. She's live at the Capitol right now. Aisha.
Hey, good morning to you guys. Well, the Democrats certainly have their gloves on this morning. They are waking up to a deeply divided party. We are actually waiting to find out which one of them in the Senate will join the GOP in funding the government to vote on this cloture vote. It's going to happen sometime in the 1 o'clock hour later this afternoon. And this is the vote, you guys, that unlocks the government funding bill. This is the vote that Republicans need Democrats to join them on. So Democrats, as you know, have been threatening to shut down the government because what they wanted in this government funding bill was to limit President Trump's authority to slash more government. Well, last night, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer announced that while they didn't get what they wanted, he is going to help fund the government because a shutdown, he says, would have been far more worse for federal workers. It would have given President Trump powers to decide who is essential and who is not.
A shutdown would give Donald Trump and Elon Musk carte blanche to destroy vital government services at a significantly faster rate than they can right now.
This change of heart came right after a heated lunch among Senate Democrats yesterday in which it sounded like Senator Kirsten Gillibrand screaming at her colleagues about how a shutdown would look for them. Meanwhile, Republicans are out there taking a victory lap.
Chuck Schumer overplayed his hands, and fortunately, we have Leader Thune who just outmaneuvered him. Thune said from the very beginning of this Congress that the Democrats can either do this the easy way or do it the hard way, and they have chose the hard way the entire time.
Meanwhile, some Democrats, like AOC, are eviscerating Schumer right now. She says that there is actually still time, a few hours here, to kill this bill.
We have time to correct course on this decision. Senate Democrats can vote no. We can correct course. To see Senate Democrats even consider acquiescing to Elon Musk, I think it is a huge slap in the face, and I think that there is a wide sense of betrayal.
So this could also turn into a political problem for Chuck Schumer. There are some Democrats that are asking AOC to primary him in New York. And Brian, I know you said that his seat is probably safe, but you also want to consider his position here in the Senate as well. His seat might be safe in New York, but there are some questions about his leadership position here. Will there be a Senate Democrat that comes out that wants to jockey for that position?
Aisha, what happened? Because we knew a cave was going to happen. They just don't have the leverage right now. But something explosive happened in that lunch that we didn't anticipate. I know a lot of the members didn't want to go on record after that meeting, which told you that the leadership had told them to keep their mouth shut. What are you hearing?
Well, Senate Democrats were certainly pressured to hold the line when House Democrats, pretty much the entire conference except for one member, stood together and voted no on this bill. So as soon as the House acted the way that it did, at least the Democrats in the House, then Senate Democrats had pressure on them to do the exact same thing. And that was the plan. It turned into a stare down, which is what always happens during these fights. And what happened during the lunch, you know, they've been having these meetings. I think it's been 3 times so far this year. They've had these meetings that have gone over an hour, and we weren't getting really anything out of the Democrats that were leaving the meeting. They would go to the bathroom, they would leave, we would ask questions, they wouldn't say anything. So clearly someone had told them not to talk. And then suddenly we heard screaming. I mean, full-blown shouting at her colleagues, and it was clear to me, I was the first person to say, I think that's Kirsten Gillibrand, and then we all started leaning in, and it was clear that she was unhappy with how this shutdown would make the Democrats look. It just wasn't worth it politically to them.
Senator Mark Wayne Mullin said you could hear them down the hallway. That's how loud it was behind that closed door, in that closed door session amongst the Democrats. What about the votes? I know you said earlier you're not really sure, but have you heard anyone might be leaning? Because Republicans need 7 votes from the Democrats. It sounds like they do have it with Chuck Schumer. What about the other Democrats? Do they have the 7?
So we actually made a list of some Democrats last night. The Hill team got together. We made a list. And I can tell you that Senator Tim Kaine is a possible yes as well. He said that he would be if he got those amendments. They want to be able to vote on certain things before the actual government funding bill. We could also see people like some of these folks that are retiring soon. They're not going to run for re-election. You've got like Peters in Michigan. We could also see Slotkin, who is a little bit more pragmatic. And then possibly some others out there that might come forward and help to shield some of these more vulnerable Democrats that are up for re-election in 2 years.
I mean, Kelly's indicated, too, he would be somewhat open to it. But they wanted that 30 days, right? They wanted Schumer to go to bat for 30-day CR.
They wanted
that just
clean
collapsed.
CR.
Yeah.
They wanted a clean CR. And they're saying this is a dirty CR, that it's not exactly what they passed back in December or, months before that, that there are some provisions that are a little bit different here, a little bit more defense spending. I think there's a naval ship that's going to be built. There's money in there for that. So there are some differences in that. The key thing that they really wanted that wasn't included by Speaker Johnson was this provision to limit the president's authority to basically slash or cut government wherever he deemed it was necessary. And Republicans just weren't going to go for that.
Of course not. Aisha, thanks so much.
Thanks, Aisha.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmer.